Finding shared meaning with the people in our lives is incredibly important. And it is something that we do already, even if we don't think about it. For instance, at a level of society, we've all agreed, at least in the United States and many of the Western countries, that the way that you approach somebody's home is not by just walking into their home, but by knocking on the front door or ringing the doorbell. That's what's acceptable practice. Society has accepted that as the norm. So anyone who violates that norm, whether intentionally or unintentionally, risks becoming ostracized in some way because now they've violated the norms that society has accepted. In relationships, though, that tends to happen at a much smaller level. Sometimes relational partners violate each other's norms without even knowing it. And what often happens is that a conversation may have started about one particular topic, but then partner A said a phrase that set off partner B. Now all of a sudden the argument is about that phrase. And it often is the case that partner A didn't even intend the phrase to be interpreted the way that partner B interpreted it, but they're coming from two different perspectives, two different realities. And I mean, I've seen this in so many couples where they're having a conversation and they think they're arguing about the same thing, but they're not. They're arguing about completely different things. And this is where it can be helpful to have a third person come in and, with curiosity ask, well, is this what you really meant? It seems to me that you're getting upset, but I don't think that you're actually talking about the same thing. Let's clarify this. And couples, when they're in the middle of a heated conversation, it's very difficult to do that. And this is especially an issue with people who are mismatched in terms of one of them having done the work and being very self-aware, and the other one not having done the work and not being self-aware yet. So let's say that, partner A has done the work, is self-aware, is trying to apply everything that he or she has learned from the Gottman Institute, for instance, and is trying to be vulnerable and open and show how they're at fault in some way. But partner B hasn't done all of that. So for partner B, partner's A admission is actually more like admitting culpability or blame in some way. That is not partner A's intention. For partner A, he or she was just trying to be vulnerable in the situation and trying to connect. And partner B may not understand it in that way. And this can become really problematic and create some very tiresome conversations until this misunderstanding gets cleared up. Okay. And the other thing that can happen also is that, let's say that partner A has done the work and is able to see his or her own projections and how their experiences during the day help interpret their partner. Okay. So let's say they had a bad day at work, came home and gets irritated at everything partner B does. But they know it's coming from having had a bad day at work. But partner B doesn't know that, right? And partner B instead projects his or her anger on partner A, not realizing that this is actually stemming from another situation that occurred. This then becomes an issue because partner A is being understanding and trying to take responsibility and not projecting. And basically what's going to end up happening is that partner A just won't attack as much because partner A will take more of the responsibility, but partner B hasn't done that. So there will be more attacks coming this way and fewer attacks coming this way. And now we have a big mismatch in the relationship. So for couples who are in this situation, it's actually really beneficial to take relationship courses or even go to counseling together, which, by the way, is not recommended for abusive relationships. When there's abuse in the relationship, it is not recommended to do couples counseling because you're opening yourself up and being vulnerable, and an abusive person is going to take that and run with it. Okay, so that's not recommended. But for a couple where there really is simply misunderstanding or lack of understanding, being able to create this foundation where they're both on the same page can be incredibly useful.